All right, good to see everybody. It's great to be back at Lumen. Thought the 12s were awesome for a preseason game. Place was rocking. We forced them to be on the silent cadence. Just told the team, look, you never want to tie a football game. It kind of stinks, but a lot of great stuff on both sides of the ball. Special teams as well. Guys got our attention. We can go through all the guys, but we're going to want to watch the tape to evaluate everybody. But I thought the effort was tremendous. Thought our vets, especially the guys that didn't play, were awesome in support. We said those 2 penalties were cost of doing business. We'll be better moving forward. But just great to see the enthusiasm, and obviously, we want to be able to close games out in the fourth quarter. So both sides, this will be something we'll look at, and a lot of stuff we're going to learn from too. As a coaching staff and how we operate, and as players as well. So solid start. Can't wait to watch the tape. And again, I keep saying this every week, but it's a big week coming up ahead of us here, and looking forward to the next game.
What did you like about your first offensive line, Mike?
Well, just, you felt the line of scrimmage. You felt the physicality. I felt like being able to, they gave us a couple pressures there early where we weren't necessarily expecting. So being able to kind of identify the front, get everything targeted the right way, and sustaining blocks, I thought that was really good. And I thought we kept the quarterback clean for the most part, especially in the first half. So a lot of good stuff.
It was really early in the process, but what did you like about Klint's offense, especially in the first half when you had more of those guys in there? It was like 7 for 10 on third down and ran the ball a little bit.
Yeah, I thought situationally we did a great job. I thought, him and I are getting on to feel like we're on a pretty good cadence communicating-wise. It's great to hear the communication over the headset with everybody on the staff. Everybody's contributing. Play calls in fast. Just all the things we saw in practice were there. And there's some stuff that, we're going to go back and kind of recalibrate and learn from and improve from. But solid first start. I'm sure if you ask Klint, he wouldn't be as, he's always, chasing the things, which is what you appreciate about him. But, yeah, I thought we ran the ball well. I'm not sure on the stats, but it felt like we were moving it. And third down completions were good. It'd be good to get some explosive plays. And we had a good 2-minute opportunity there at the end to go win the game. It would have been great to go down and close it out.
George Holani had a great preseason last year as a rookie. How have you seen him take his game to the next level? He had 81 yards on just 8 touches today.
Yeah, I feel like we don't talk about George enough, but he does. He's just kind of the guy that does everything right all the time, and it's great to see him have success because of how hard he works. So, yeah, George's a great. I mean, you saw the runs, but the kickoff tackle was a big play for us. So I think he's a pretty well-rounded player.
Coach, I know it was a 4th and 20 situation at the end of the game. Is there a reason you decided to punt for it instead of just a long shot to try and convert?
No, I mean we felt like if we that wasn't really part of the conversation. If we don't convert there, we're pretty much handing them the game.
What did you think of Jalen? His first 2 drives, a holding penalty, so he's kind of behind the sticks, I guess, a little bit on those. But what did you think of how he played?
Yeah, I thought Jalen played well. I thought he made good decisions. Operation-wise, there's some things that we want to be a little cleaner on, but throwing the ball accurately, throwing it on time, and then when it wasn't there, extending plays with his legs, I thought was really cool. We made some good decisions in the quarterback-driven game with how they're playing their edges. Again, something that we haven't game planned these guys, but they're mesh charge of the quarterback, so not getting greedy and handing the ball off and having effective runs. I thought that was good stuff for not really having prepped him for it.
Tory Horton's obviously been having a lot of good practices in a row. Just to see him take it to the game and have a good game.
Yeah, it was great. It was great, and then to see him catch the punt was awesome and get a return. I'm not sure how long that return was, but that helped us there. And then obviously the touchdown, and you just felt him out there in those situations, which was a continuation of what we're seeing in practice. So it's great to see it in a game setting.
You talked about cost of doing business for those 2 penalties. What did you make of the defense all coming off the sideline and celebrating those 2 penalties?
Yeah, I mean, these guys they're ready to play a game, and they've seen the work that our non-starters have put in. So to see those guys come up and attack the ball the way they did was really cool. We wanted to make a little bit more of a return in both situations. We work plus mode a lot, so there's some meat left on the bone on that situation. But we do have to show the guys that those penalties did affect us in the game. Change field position. We really can't afford to be doing that moving forward. But but, having the enthusiasm and having the guys being fired up for guys making plays, that was pretty cool.
Mike, speaking of Tori, seeing his punt return, kind of the way he was able to move around some guys there on that, what is it about his skill set that you kind of like in that role, in addition to what you saw out of him with the receiving? Obviously, he had the little spin down near the goal line, too, to get in the end zone on the one play as well.
Well, you see him at, the run after catch is, a similar situation as in punt return. And he works really hard at he's catching a lot of punts, and he's worked really hard at it. That's just kind of his MO. Just works really hard, does the right things, makes great decisions, and, good things happen when the process is right.
How do you go about evaluating a preseason game? Is it can you evaluate the team, or is it a bunch of individual evaluations for each of the players?
I think it's both. I mean, as a coaching staff, there's kind of just piece it in a bunch of different things. I mean, how we start the game. We're going to go back and look at our warm up and see how that went. We're going to go evaluate our run defense. We're going to evaluate our third down defense on both sides of the ball. We're going to look at our punt, our field goal protection, give them a extra point block. So you're kind of looking at everything, evaluating it. You're looking at it situationally, and then, as a whole, how we start games, how we close games is going to be really important. And ultimately, this is like a personnel evaluation, so you're going to be watching all the guys that played and evaluating them as well.
How did you think Nick Imawari played? He was not there a ton, but.
Yeah, it was good. We wanted to, get his feet wet, go affect the game as best he could. And I thought he, from when he was in there, we felt him. We sent him on a couple pressures, and did a good job. And I think it was a couple series, and then we felt like that was good. Let's get the next week.
On Tuesday, you Sheriff.
He's just working through something. He'll be back soon.
On Tuesday, you highlighted Tyreek Smith as a player that you were looking forward to watching him rush the passer. It seemed like he came through in some crucial moments in this game, whether drawing penalties or getting his hands on the football.
Yeah, same thing with Tyreek, and then it was great to feel him in the run game too. I thought he played physical. Can't think of all the plays right now, frankly, but looking forward to watching the tape. And I know he's playing hard. I felt him out there.
What do you think of a guy like Brandon Peele? He made some big stops out there for you guys.
Yeah. Brandon, I mean, it's just another great story of a guy that has really determined over the offseason to have a great offseason and really commit to the process, both with his body and how he practices and getting in football shape so we can go have performances like this. So, hey, we're halfway through camp here. We got a couple more weeks that are going to be really important for him, but really excited for him, happy for him. Just happy for him to have success because you see how much work he's put into it.
Mike, what do you think of Robbie Utz's reps there at fullback? Obviously, he had the one block on Holani's touchdown there that was pretty obvious to see, but anything else kind of?
Yeah, like when I was talking about how we started the game, they brought a Sam Strong safety, something that we haven't really repped much with that run scheme, but be able to kind of follow his rules, and I ended up blocking Max on that play, which is pretty cool. So definitely felt him, and but just like, hey, that's your second play as an NFL player, and you just go execute at a high level, and we pop an explosive run. That was pretty cool.
Mike, when you mentioned a couple of players made good decisions, what does that say about what you're doing during the week and how players are embracing that and then executing the game?
Well, we like to take pride in how we practice, and as a coach, you're really trying to make practice harder than games. By stressing guys, putting them in different situations, make them think on the fly. Now, there's things that I'm thinking about that happen in the game that I think we can realize in real time a little bit faster, and so there's some things that we're going to want to simulate, moving forward, so we improve in those situations. But yeah, I think you go out there, and if the game feels slower for you, then that means that they're practicing the right way, and I think our guys do that.
Mike, with Tori as your punt returner, why do you like him in that role?
Well, he's competing to be our punt returner right now, Tori. Yeah. So, but his run after the catch is great. We talked about this earlier, but run after the catch is good. Sure hands, works really hard at it, makes great decisions.
You talked about the communication with Klint. He's working from down on the sidelines. How does that change the dynamic, or what do you like about that dynamic with him?
Well, I think that's where Clint's leaning right now. I don't really have a preference either way. It's whatever he prefers. So, we'll kind of re-huddle here in the next few days to see if he wants to try to give it a go upstairs or see what that feels like. So it's still kind of a work in progress, but I think just as another play caller likes being on the field. You get a good feel for the game and personnel substitutions and situations, and then it's obviously awesome to, the communication piece for guys when they're on and off the field is great. it's sometimes it's tough. Like today, AD was calling it, so I'm trying to talk to him to talk to the linebackers, and so you want to be direct to the players as much as you can.
You've had Marshawn come down the sideline before. Did you see him today with the camera taking some photos?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I was trying to get him to talk to the guys in the locker room at halftime, but he dipped off. But great to see him.
Was there anything you didn't expect or you learned tonight that you didn't know because of a game situation?
I don't think so. I mean, we'll go back and evaluate tomorrow, but yeah, it's just it's a lot of both. It's a lot of great stuff that you're thinking about. You're fired up, and especially guys that haven't had that opportunity yet to go show it and put great energy and physicality out there. I thought that was really cool. And then there's some things where you realize that we're not there yet. So let's go to work on it. Let's go attack it. And we have time, but we don't have time. There's urgency there.
Sorry for your access earlier. Do you have any update on Tyrese Knight? You said you're going to get imaging.
I don't have an update on him right now. We're actually going to get more information tomorrow.
Anything else? Actually, one last thing. What do you think of the virtual measurement thing? I don't know if you were asked that.
Oh yeah, I think they said they were just going to do it just to give it a go to try it out. So I don't think they changed the spot on that one, did they?
No, just in general. Are you?
Yeah.
Virtual measurements in general, not that particular.
Oh, what about it?
Yeah.
I love it. Let's 2025. Let's get it right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.